I have a
Hey, Frankie.
Hi there. I have a win. I went through all my contacts again, and I spoke to a previous client. He is looking to downsize his home, move somewhere else, sell his current home, and downsize to another. He is a senior, and he's hoping to do a reverse mortgage. And I booked a consultation and a meeting with him this coming Monday to
Amazing.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
And will you, I mean, you haven't had the consult yet, so I don't expect you to know, but is he looking to use the reverse mortgage to purchase a home?
I'm going to educate him on that. So this weekend I'll be working on my scripts and everything. So he's actually now I have three people that I'm currently working with, but he seems to be the more promising to actually sign with me because I actually helped him in the past offload all of his investments because he was an investor, had duplexes and stuff. So I helped him do that. So we have history, and he's looking to now downsize. So
Way to go. And you said you uncovered that by doing what? You said
going
looking at your
through
past contacts. Tell me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I went through all, updated all my past contacts. I created me a blink card, like the electronic blink card or whatever. So I created that, went through all of my contacts yesterday, and I got a lot of good feedback. I actually got a former lender that I used to work with first time home buying. He asked for all of my information so that he can pass it on because I let him know that I was certified in probate in CAPS. I'm sending him that email actually right now, and a couple of my or past associates, they asked for my information as well, and they want to pass it on. Two people signed up for
Amazing.
Yeah, two people signed up for my email subscription. So I'm gonna keep going. So tonight I'll be going through all my former clients that I worked with in the past. A lot of them are investors, but I'm still going to send them my information as well. So yeah.
That's awesome. And some of the big takeaways that I am hearing there, for those of you that are just jumping on, or maybe you don't know Frankie, you should know that she has a full-time job outside of real estate. So if she can make time to hustle and touch her database, and it has yielded potentially two transactions, it sounds like, maybe more, there's no excuse for the rest of us that are doing this full time. But what I'm also hearing you say, and no fault to you, I think we're all guilty of dividing like investors and SOI clients in our head. Well, they're an investor. They know just as many people as everybody else in our database. They too are seniors, have senior parents, know the senior neighbors. So I think that's a huge thing that I'm hearing you say is if somebody knows, likes, and trusts you from any walk of life, I don't care if they bought a $50,000 rehab fixer upper or if they're a family that bought a $700,000 home, we should be treating our people all the same because relationships are what are so important. So thank you for sharing. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And my share out this morning and call to action for everyone was going to share just be to share my results. Over the last couple weeks, we've been talking about marketing, making offer for immediate response for the senior space. I'm putting that in the chat, making offer for immediate response. And for me, that looks like lately I've been offering free staging for seniors, and I market that. And I had somebody say, that's so expensive. Why would you do that? And so I just wanted to pull up a listing, and I'm going to show you what it looks like staged and give you the real results because it went live active yesterday. And I'm just going to pull it up on Zillow. I know that's terrible, but here we are. It's the easiest. And it went live yesterday, and I already have an offer over list price in my inbox. I'm going to be presenting it to the clients today. They were referred to me by an occupational therapist in a hospital because they're downsizing and moving to Virginia to be close to grandparents or be close to their grandchildren. They are grandparents. Wife suffered a traumatic brain injury 2 days after she retired from her career, was looking forward to retirement, and had a motor vehicle accident. So while they're not old seniors looking at senior living, they are upper 50s, lower 60s, maybe mid 60s at best, but had a major life change. And so, like, a white glove experience is of the utmost importance to somebody like this when they are moving. And so when I met them, I offered free staging at 3.5%. So we just got an offer at 622,000. And I'm only telling you that because none of you are in my market. It's not under contract yet. Usually I wouldn't be telling people what the offer is for. 622 times 0.035. My commission is going to be 21,770. And I'm using quick calculator here, and my investment was 2,900 for staging. So 21. So that is going to tell us what our return on investment is. I'm going to share my screen here and show you what the staging looks like. I had 3 stagers give me a price, and I did not end up going with the lowest. I went with who was available, and they were middle of the road. So it was 2,900 total to stage this home. And here's what it looks like. So very traditional. Today's buyer, I like to tell people, when I'm pitching this free staging idea, it's going to have to be at 3% listing commission or 3.5%. But it just takes so much burden off of the senior or the downsizer or the right sizer. And I can share with them statistics about increase in price and increase in speed in getting a contract because there's so much objective data out there. And you can ask ChatGPT, please give me 5 cited statistics on the benefits of staging, and then present this at your listing presentation. But as you can see, even though it's a very traditional, not super modern or updated, very person specific fixtures, the staging makes it look so nice and magazine-esque. This room, no overhead lighting, but the stagers put three lamps and then a lamp on the desk over here. So it looked really bright. Pro tip, there's only 2 stagers in St. Louis that actually put light bulbs in their lamps. If you do use a stager in your market, make sure that they have light bulbs in their lamps. It's so ridiculous, I feel like, to not have light bulbs. But as you can see, it turned out beautifully. Fans are older. It's not super updated, but it's in tip-top shape. So just by moving out their medical equipment, their wheelchair, their lazy boy, the stuff that is very specific to them, it's not offensive, but it's not neutral and it's not magazine-esque. Just by removing all of their stuff and then having it staged, this home presents completely different. So we listed at 607. We have an offer already in less than 24 hours. Oh my gosh, do I have a light bulb out? Terrible. We have an offer at 622, and my side of the commission is 3.5%. So you get the point, how beautiful the staging is. So when I'm marketing this on social media, let me stop my screen share. I'm telling them again those statistics about the return on investment. So when I look at a $2,900 investment, so that's an expense that I will write off as a business expense or a cost of doing business to yield a what did I say? $21,770 commission at 3.5%. That's a 650.69%, 650.69% return on that investment. Is that a good investment? Yes, 100%. So
Yes.
I just wanted to give you all feedback because I talked about this in our marketing call a couple weeks ago, and I had some pushback of, well, how do I do that? So it works, and we have a really strong offer right out of the gate. Some things to think about. Ask your stagers, build relationships with one or two. You don't need to have 10 in your Rolodex, one or two. And after you do one deal with them, they will trust you, learn how you work, and then maybe they'll take half and then take the other half payment up front and the other half at closing. They will work with you if you tell them what you are doing. I'm building a business around serving seniors at the highest level. Because of that, I'm taking on the cost of staging because a home is most people's largest asset, and making a right sizing, downsizing, or transitioning into senior living move is very expensive. I see that and want to invest in my clients' assets so that they can get the greatest return on their investment. Therefore, I'm taking on the cost of staging. Are you willing to work with me and have this be due at closing? And then it can be taken out of your commission payment and you don't have to pay cash. So those are some ideas. And if you do decide to try this, it's great, great marketing to put in a newsletter, to write a blog post about. And you can write a blog, come from contribution. Don't just make it a marketing scheme free for seniors. Like I said, look up ChatGPT or Google and say, please give me three evidence-backed objective data points around the benefits of staging. Write a blog post about it. Grab some before and after photos of a home that you've recently staged. And if you've never staged a home, email me and I will let you use my photos for free. I'll send you some very janky cell phone pictures that I took on my listing appointment, and you can make a post with the staged photos. So a blog post, a Facebook post with the before and after, and then in the caption, you talk about the increase, the return on investment, the increase in sale price, and the increase in speed to getting a contract, decrease days on market, increase price when you stage a home, and then you tie that in to your offering, your make offer for immediate response. So you could do a blog post, you could do a Facebook post, you could do an Instagram post or reel. You could put this in a newsletter. You could make it an ongoing thing. And if you do a weekly or monthly newsletter, it could always be at the bottom of your newsletter so people know, oh, that's a program that Gretchen runs. That's a program that Empowered Homes runs out of St. Louis. But it just sets you apart from other agents who aren't offering such things, because 2,900 to stage a home is expensive and larger. And that was only one of the bedrooms. All the other bedrooms were empty. So I just did the living room, kitchen, dining room, and then bedroom. So definitely, Sherry, great question. Are these homes vacant? So when I am offering this to a senior, I always tell them, if you are able to move and then sell, you're going to yield the highest sale price. Now, that is not going to be possible for everyone because maybe they don't know where they're going, or they absolutely have to have the funds to get to where they are going next. So I will say a caveat is that this only works well if indeed the home can be vacant. So I actually have two this month that I provided the staging for, and the other one got an above list price offer before it hit the market. It didn't even go to the public market. I had a buyer that it was a match for. And so I'm double ending of 610, a $610,000 home, but the staging made the difference. And that one was for a 90-year-old who was downsizing into an apartment. And she told me, she like was really obsessed with all of her stuff. Oh, we can just leave it empty. This doesn't need to be staged. I'm like, I appreciate your opinion, and that's why I'm going to cover the cost. You are not going to cover the cost, but if we let this house sit empty with nothing, I think you could make 20 to 30,000 less than if it looked like a magazine. So, what questions do you have about this strategy? You have to be very careful. This is my legal disclosure. Kickbacks or any, what do we call them? You want to make sure that you're not going to get in trouble from your state, from your brokerage. So make sure that it's not an inducement or anything like that in your area. I have run it by my broker and I am good here in St. Louis, Missouri, but I don't want to be telling you guys to go do this and then people get in trouble. Frankie, what is your question?
Okay, I have two because what you just said there, I'm confused. Like, what do you mean as far as an inducement or getting in trouble with home staging? I'm a little lost.
So, in each state is different. They have different laws, but you can't. An inducement would be like, if you give me a referral, I will give you $1,000. If you use
Oh, okay.
me over
Yeah,
someone, I will. So it has to be available
yeah,
to all seniors or to all, like it can't be, and that's why I always just tell to check with their broker. So there's other lead generation contest where
yeah.
maybe you're giving away a nice Yeti cooler, or a team in my office gave away a cruise. And it's like, okay, we are on different levels here. I'm giving away like a $50 gift card to the restaurant and you're giving away a cruise. But in Missouri, we can't say you will get 5 entries for the contest if you give us a referral, because that's something in exchange for business. So you have to make sure it doesn't present like that. You want to be above board, not unethical, etc.
Yeah, okay, I get that part. Okay, I get it. So then, my second question is, do you give any input to the stager, like how you would like it to look, or do you, like on this one, did you just give them free reign to do their bit, exercise their
Yeah,
profession?
I gave them free range, and I should pull up the other one that I have listed right now and show you, and you will hopefully understand why I do give them free range. I am in the camp of we should all operate in our zone of genius. And my zone of genius is marketing and strategizing according to the current economy. So I am very good at pricing properties, marketing properties, strategizing a plan for my clients to get top dollar. I am not a designer. I'm not a home designer. I know what looks good, but it would take me so long to give input. So the whole Pareto's principle, the 80/20, I'm not I'm not making money when I am designing staging. So I just give it to them and let them run with it. So this is the second one, same stager, but as you can see, they just do a great job at making it look beautiful. If you can imagine, before this was staged, she had her TV here, a massive red recliner here, and then a green leather recliner here, a cluttered table. Over here was just dead space, like a massive traditional dining room set, a hutch, a china cabinet. So just like very person specific things that are important to them, and like handed down from generation to generation. But I hate to say it, millennials, we have been jaded by Chip and Joanna Gaines. We walk in a house and we can't have any vision. So like the more it can look move in ready, the more a buyer is willing to pay. Let's see if I can move my face so I can show you some more here. So yeah, they just do a great job. I All I have to do is give them bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and then what areas of the home I want staged. And they're able to spit me back a bid, usually within 24 hours. Um, and then I just compare who's going to be ready when we need to be ready, and then who is the most affordable. And this company is called Olive and Opal. If you want to look them up on social media, they are probably, not probably, they are definitely on the more expensive end in St. Louis. So I do have some like more budget friendly, but you see, these bedrooms are empty, but that's okay because the first impression is what matters the most when the client, like when the prospective buyers are just walking in the house. So that's another example for you of a currently staged home. I have a third one, actually. I have three right now that I have paid for the staging for all three, and you will see a difference. And I'm not going to tell you the name of this company because I don't want to throw them under the bus, but they're not my favorite. And they are the cheapest. And they were available when we needed them. And it's not bad. It still looks way better than being an empty house. So you'll be able to tell that just like the type of decor, it's just very different. See, this is a little more probably got, I don't know. I'm not going to say any mean things, but it's just different.
It's plainly, it doesn't give that like that plush comfort feel, but it's nice. I see
It's a
what you're
little more
It's
saying. I
nice.
definitely see.
It gives you the vision
Yeah.
still
right. It's
without just
Ashley
being blank
Furniture.
rooms, but it's just blah.
Yeah, it is.
So now you know my strategy for one, winning listings when I'm working with older adults, and two, marketing them. What questions do you have about this free staging program that I run?
I think that's an awesome strategy. I like it. That's super creative. I've yet to hear anyone in my brokerage mention that. So yeah.
Yeah, and I
I,
think I appreciate it. And I think the key is to really build relationships with stagers. So that Olive and Opal company I told you about, the owner uses the same business coach that I do. So I just went to my business coach and I said, look, I want to have a relationship with Melinda. Can you please connect us so that we have like a mutual contact? So similar to building a board of directors, getting a stager that you know does good work and that understands your vision is going to be so key because, you know, their cash flow isn't, their business is dependent on cash flow. And if they let everybody not pay until closing, then they're going to be very cash poor business wise. So it takes a little creativity to get in with a stager. For the first project or two, I would expect to pay it all up front out of your own pocket, which also puts a little pressure on you as far as like pricing it right and making sure you're executing a really strong marketing strategy because you don't want to be in the whole $3,000 for staging. Well, we are almost right at 9:30. Does anybody have any other questions? It can be about anything. It doesn't have to pertain to this.
Gretchen, have you ever done virtual staging?
I have. Um, It's a good option. If ever I do virtual staging, I'm always getting it printed out on like a big corrugated poster board and putting it on an easel because I think that it does look a little bit cheesy. And it's kind of like a bait and switch. You see this online and then you walk into an empty house and it's like, oh crap, that was virtual staging. So it still gives vision. But I prefer the real thing.
You talked about paying for staging before, and it seems to me that you talked about partially paying in some cases.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
so what drive yeah.
it just depends what stagers are willing to do what to work with you. So, like some will require half payment up front and then the other half at closing. Some will require everything up front. I have gotten to a point where the stager that I work with knows, likes, and trusts me, and so I pay it out of my commission at closing. So they get paid at closing. The title company issues them payment. I give them the invoice, and it's pretty easy peasy. And again, it's a large like you have to practice the profit first model if you are going to offer a strategy such as this one or have a little bit of cash in the business that you're willing to have as a business expense because you know 2,900 is a lot, but
It is.
people pay that in Zillow leads, so why not, if I know that it's going to lead to a fast quick home sale at a higher price than an unstaged home, I see it as a good investment.
Do you ever do, is there ever an instance in which you do like partial staging because some of the seller's furniture has to stay there, they're still living there?
Yeah.
What's your thought on
There are
that?
some companies in St. Louis that do partial. I don't have a ton of experience with that. I've maybe done it two or three times, where they'll come in and come in and spruce up a little bit or add some pillows or change out light fixtures, etc. So that's definitely an option, and it is more affordable. Andrea asked, do you have a clause in the contract that the client has to pay you back if they default on the contract? And do you do a year contract? Great question. And I've thought about this over and over
Great
again,
question.
and I do not have a clause. I have one time, only once. No times, because we ended up going back under contract. So knock on wood, I've never had it bite me, but I have thought about the importance of covering myself. And I just would, I don't know, it might take away from like the benefit to me. So if I'm willing to have it be a cost of business or an expense in my business, I'm just thinking of it as a pretty big, marketing expense. The second one that I showcased here when I shared my screen, actually, it's a 90-year-old woman moving out. It's a pretty accessible home. My client is a young family with a 9-year-old with cerebral palsy. I'm like, oh, I have a ranch style home. It's very accessible. Why don't you take a look before I put it on the market? I didn't think it was going to be a fit for them. They tell me they want to make an offer the day before staging is supposed to happen. I reach out to the stager. I'm like, I see your contract says we have to give 48-hour notice or else we get no refund. And they were like, yeah, I'm sorry, no refund. So similarly, I was like, oh, I should think about this again. However, I just make lemonade from lemons and I'm already going to get photos anyway. So then I did like some video and professional photos, and I will use that in my newsletter. When I'm talking about staging, I'll post it on social media. So I'll use those assets over and over and over again in my business to a point that I'm like, okay, well, it's just a very big marketing expense. And if this contract falls through, I still wanted to have it staged so that when we do go to the public open market, that it still looks beautiful. So all that to say, no, I do not have a clause. I do think it would be smart. I have waffled back and forth on if I want that or not.
Would you consider putting a lien?
No, I like right now, and mind you, I'm not offering this to, well, I don't do any like all of my business is sphere of influence and
Okay.
referrals. So it's all people that I know. And if I don't know them, they came from somebody that I know. So it's not like I'm offering this on, somebody that's unstable is going to change their mind about moving. Like I have pretty good discernment. And if it was something where I was like, oh, these people don't even want to move, they're just, doing the make me move to see if they can get this ridiculous price. And that's another thing, like I mentioned earlier, you have to be so confident in your pricing. So you have to have hard conversations. I'm not going to pay $3,000 for somebody that's unrealistic about the price of their home if they're not willing to like let me advise them on what it needs to be priced at. So it's more than just is this pretty. Like I have to be super confident in the marketing strategy and the market positioning, etc., for me to take this on.
So
But it has won me multiple listings where I've been up against people.
so in your listing conversation with the client or your marketing materials, is this printed in your marketing materials, or is it just something you offer verbally depending on the client?
It's printed. I make an occasional social media post about it. September, I do very heavy social media for senior-based business because it's fall awareness month. So in September last year, I did, if you sign a listing agreement, good for the next year. So the listing agreement could be good for 12 months, but if you sign with me in September, free staging in September. So it ebbs and flows. It's not something I have on my website. It's not something that I have in my listing documentation, but I have put marketing out about it online.
Would you ever, I just had a client's home stage, but we didn't stage the entire house because it was like almost 3,000 square feet. So we staged like the master bedroom, the combination living room, dining room, the kitchen eating area, and the entertainment area in the basement, which was massive. Have you, do you think it's a good idea to do partial staging like that, or what are your thoughts?
Um, I think I think anything like something is better than nothing at all. So if you can pull off partial staging but not a full home stage, that's great.
Yeah. It seemed to work. I mean, people commented more on the staging than did on the house, actually.
Any other questions? We are 5 minutes past 9:30, and I do have
I
a
have one unrelated question,
uh-huh.
occupational therapist question. I saw a poll um, that somebody was talking about in one of the dementia groups, and it's like a T-bar. It's a what do you call it? Pressure spring tension pole, but
A
it has a
super pole is what
T-bar.
they're called.
And what?
It's
A
called a
super.
super pole.
I was gonna. So you know what I'm talking about. To help
I'm
them get
pretty
in
sure
and
I
out
know what you're
of
talking
that.
about.
Because I was
Is this what
wondering.
you're, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Is this what you're talking
Yep,
about?
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Do you think that's a good idea?
It depends. I never like to say yay or nay on durable medical equipment unless I know the client and have assessed them and know what's
Okay.
going on. So if the person it is if the person that is using it has good cognitive function and can learn how to use it, then yes, absolutely, it will help with transfers. It'll help with getting up and down, in and out of bed, etc. But if they have any sort of cognitive decline or memory loss, it could cause more issues than be beneficial.
I was concerned about the stability, because it's basically spring tension. It's not screwed into the ceiling or the floor.
Yeah, you have to install it properly, and it has to go into like it has to be placed at a stud. So
Oh, okay.
you have to have a stud finder. I would hire somebody to help set it up. But yeah,
So wait a minute, if you have to have a stud, so it does screw in or nail in or something. It's not
no, you
just
just want
spring
to make
tension.
sure that it's butt up against a stud so that it doesn't put a hole in the drywall. Like you need it to be at a place that has reinforcement.
Got it, got it. Okay, okay. Good point. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. I am all out of time because I have a 9:45. Thank you all for being on. If you have any additional questions about this strategy or anything at all, please let me know. You can get a hold of me via email or text or shoot me a DM on Instagram. But go forth and have an amazing day.